great. Thank you for joining your Wonder Woman this week. So I'm super excited to highlight you.
I'm glad to be here and talk to you. And
Yes.
I'm proud of you too.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to have these conversations to start with my loved ones. And of course, anybody that we can highlight around great things that they're doing and how they're taking care of their mental health, more importantly. But this is my sister, guys. This is my sister, Chanel Perez. We are blood sisters. We grew up together. And, although I know everything she's juggling and know about her life, I want to highlight her today and share all the things that she's accomplished, as well as just her strength overall and what she's been able to one, accomplish, but also through that continue to take care of herself. So you are a mom, you're a grandmother, and
Mm.
you work, and you also have like many talents that I don't have. I don't know where they came from, but so why don't you tell us first about what all you're juggling?
Um, like you said, I'm a mom. I have three big girls now, so it gives me more time to do some things for myself. Their ages are 20, 22, and 24. And I'm also a grandma to a 2-year-old little girl named Anais. She's so beautiful. I'm so blessed to have her in my life. So between helping my daughter with Anais and working and helping my other two girls whenever they need me, um, that's pretty much what I do from every day. I mean, I try to make some time for myself, um, but I enjoy it. I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah. And you're in the healthcare field as well. So that's draining, in itself.
Yeah.
You work and do that all day, taking care of other people. Then you have your girls, and then you have a granddaughter who, she's an infant, or a toddler rather. So she needs a lot of attention. So I'm sure it's
Yes,
hard to
ma'am.
like, yeah. I've seen her. She's my great niece, and she has a lot of energy. So with that being said, I mean, you are having to spread yourself across, a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
So, I know about all of I won't even say hidden talents. Everybody doesn't know about your talents, but she sings. She was the one that raised her hand for every solo at church. The Star Spangled Banner, any church song there was, she was I would say, the loudest soprano in there.
Well.
She draws, she writes, she loves to read, and she was a rapper in her former
Oh
life.
my gosh.
Didn't think I was
Think
gonna
you were
tell
gonna
that
bring that up.
she was a rapper, and just very artistic. So these are all
Oh
talents
my
that
goodness.
I don't have. So I'm just like super excited to talk about them and to
I'm
highlight them.
sweating now.
You're sweating. You didn't think I was gonna say that. Yeah, all those different talents. Um, just very artsy. And so you've turned those things, or at least some of those things, into self-care. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you're doing around art and how that plays into your self-care and your mental health?
Well, we'll start with the whole rapping thing. When I was younger, a lot of that came from just liking to write poetry. And um I did get to be around a couple of people that allowed me to be their uh on stage with them when I was younger. Um and I also got to sing with a couple people when I was younger. Um and I was in a lot of talent shows as a young woman, Um but as I got older, I kind of veered away from those things just because one, I had a counselor that was really not a good counselor for me at that time in school that told me to find some other things because drawing was another thing that I would do. And I was pretty good at it.
Mhm.
Um, but he was trying to tell me that there was really no money in art. instead of just pushing me towards something that I really like to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so I kind of just left it alone. I ended up having my kids, and that was like the furthest thing from my mind, you know, trying to worry about art. Um, as my kids got older, I realized that I passed some of those things down to my children.
Yeah.
Because, like, for one, they're all great at art, but my oldest daughter, I just love her art. I've got a couple of pieces of hers on my page. I hope that she really pushes herself into that and she never lets it go, because it's something when you let it go, because you got to get an understanding of it all back when you haven't done a lot of things. But art was something that I was looking for something that I enjoyed doing. I was going through something emotionally, and I heard um, another counselor online saying that sometimes we have to find things that we used to do to help us uh, not be so focused on the bad things, you know. And that's where I was like, well, what did I used to like to do? What did I really enjoy doing when I was younger? And I remember my art was something that I wanted to do. So I got into a painting class, which I had never painted. I just drew, you know, I was good at drawing, but I never painted. And it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Just the way mixing and trying to get certain images that I wanted with a paintbrush that I used to could get with a pencil. A pencil was a lot easier to manipulate than a paintbrush,
Mm.
especially the way they tell you to hold it. I still have trouble with that. I still just paint how I want to paint. But yeah, I decided, you know, I really like this. I'm gonna really pursue it. And I started buying paints and canvases, and now I just turn on my music and I paint like I'm Picasso. You know, like I just go in the room. I know I'm not Picasso, but you can't tell me I'm not. Because my door's shut and I'm just in there doing whatever I want to do. And it brings, you know, a lot of happiness,
Yeah.
you know, to my life. I mean, my family brings happiness to me, but this is something that is just a personal thing,
Yeah.
just something that heals me within. You know, when I want quiet, when I want to spend time with God, I go into that room and I just paint, and nobody's talking to me. I'm just listening.
Mhm.
You know, I'm listening to my inner self. I'm listening to the the spirit. I'm waiting for him to come and talk to me, you know, in whatever areas that is. And it helps me. It's helped me a lot in my life and in this journey. When I'm going through something at home, when I'm going through something at work, you know, if I go in that room, I come out with a different kind of view of how I'm feeling about things.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you for finding that again, and using it for self care. And you're a lot like our mom, where you don't talk as much about whatever you're feeling, and I think that's changing too. But because of that, I'm so glad that you found a way to express yourself. And it's
Yeah.
always really been around something artsy. So, I'm again very glad you got back to that. So how can people, check out your art? Where can they find it?
They can find it on Instagram. It's at Chanel Perez 6521.
Chanel Perez 6521. Okay, I'll make sure that I add that when I post the video. So this was awesome. I'm so glad to highlight you again. I'm so proud of you. And you are an everyday working woman who now is prioritizing your mental health. And so, like I was saying in most of my videos, self-care looks different for everybody. So everybody's not an artist, and you are. So you use self-care, or use art as self-care. Somebody else might do something completely different. It could be
Exactly.
exercise, or just writing in their journal or something like that. But all of those things are great. You just have to find what works for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you were today. I
I'm
will.
glad too.
Yes. Well, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.
You look great.
Oh, thank you. You too.
I love you.
Love you.
Golden, golden.